When I first started my coaching business, I didn't know how to name my actual program. So I named my Facebook group the Stuttering Genius. And then I had a coach, he's like, that's a stupid ass name. He's like, what do you mean, are they geniuses? Like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, I don't know. Right? I was like, maybe like they're smart and it was really bad. So then my coach told me to name it the end result your clients are trying to achieve. He's like, what is the end result your clients or prospects are trying to achieve? I'm like, they're trying to overcome stuttering. He's like, then name it that, you idiot. So I was like, so what should I call it? Overcoming Stuttering Community. So that was my Facebook group name initially. Cool, right? And then, so that was like the big thing that I did off the bat. And then I built my Facebook group to about 400 or 500 people. I'm doing a bunch of like client calls. And then I'm like, cool, I'm about to build this program around public speaking and socializing and body language and breathing techniques. And so I ran a poll in my Facebook group and I said, hey, I'm coming out with a program. What is your favorite name? And it was like a bunch of different names. And then everyone liked the name Master Your Stutter. And so that was basically the idea, Master Your Stutter. And so from there, that was basically like my branding name. And then as I started to get into it, I was like, as things kind of went on, I was like, so what should I name my coaching program? I was like, just keep it simple, just call it Master Your Coaching Business. And so then I started to like go into depth with the concept of mastery. And I realized that term really resonates with me because a master is a master of the basics, and everything about me is about mastering the fundamentals and basics. So mastery has kind of like taken over like my life. So anything I do. So for example, when I talk about mastering their communication, a lot of people say, oh, just give me the complex ideas, like give me the cool breathing method. Give me the complex, I don't know, public speaking, cool little technique. But for me, everything about me is about mastering the fundamentals. That's why I was on a coaching call with my clients yesterday, and they're like, so what software should we use? And I was like, how many clients have you signed up? None. Then none. Because a lot of people, they try to overcomplicate with all these like softwares when the basics are not in place. So for me, when I launch a coaching business, I go using the cheapest funnel, which is a Facebook group. Then we're using Google Sheets, and then you're learning how to use Zoom, and you're selling people to buy your program. It's mastering the fundamentals. So everything about me is mastery, is mastering the fundamentals. Now in this video, what I want to discuss specifically is what mastery, the acronym mastery, means to me. And there's M-A-S-T-E-R-Y, and I'm gonna give each one specific words for each of the letters of the word mastery. So there's 7 letters in the word mastery, and I'm gonna break down each letter of what they mean to me for the term mastery, as mastery is my brand and represents our company. And so let's kind of get into it. So the letter M stands for mindset. So developing a strong positive mindset for personal and professional growth. I think a mindset is, whenever you build a coaching program, the first module should always be mastering the mind or changing the way you think. I think when you're coaching someone or you're trying to change something in your life, you always want to handle the internal first before you're working on the external. And so the internal is the mind. And so for me, as we're transforming someone through our mastery brand and process for whatever it is, it could be mastering their communication, their business, their health, whatever the case is, the first thing always has to be about the mind and changing the way the mind thinks and operates. Number 2 is action, taking consistent, deliberate action towards their goals. And so for me, once you have the mindset in place, it's about taking action, almost like how today is going right now. We're recording a bunch of content and we're taking action and we're hitting certain walls of what works, what doesn't work, what we need to change, what we need to do, or iterate. But to me, it's all about taking action. So it's about, for example, taking action to join a coaching program, taking action with starting a Facebook group, taking action with going on to live, taking action with taking that sales call or booking that call or following up with that person, whatever the case is. Everything is about taking consistent, deliberate action towards your goals. S, strategies. So implementing effective strategies for coaching and business management. So overall, it's about understanding the right strategy and then implementing it for your life and your business. And so it's about realizing that if you're not achieving what you want in life, you have to relook at what is the strategy that you're implementing and are you on the right path that's getting you to your goal. So the question is, how do you know if you're using the right strategy or if it's working? So to me, I think the easiest way to do it is looking at, well, let's kind of go back a little bit. So the word mastery. Mastery is like learning from a master, or it takes about 10,000 hours to actually master something, right? So to me, it's whenever I am trying to master something, the first thing I do is I look at who is an actual master at this craft. So if I want to become an electrician, I'm going to go and learn from a master electrician. If I'm learning how to master my health, I'm going to learn from a master. And so if I want to build a great coaching business, I'm going to learn from someone who has built a coaching business.
How do you know what strategies work? Because also, like, what if it's working? You just have to stick it through. Like, how do you know when to stop?
So I think it's not about if it's working or not. I think we're so caught up in like, well, I don't see any results, so therefore it's not working. And I would say more of like, you have to, the first thing is this. When you go and do something, you have to learn from a master yourself. And then you have to realize what is the journey of that master. So you might self-sabotage yourself and be like, well, it's not working. I know, but that's like looking at a plant that you planted a seed a month and a half ago. You're like, well, where's my plant? It's not out yet. It's like, no. Don't self-sabotage the process right now. So it's almost like you don't know what you don't know. And so to me, it's about when you have a master or a mentor, then they can show you the process. And then you can then know if, am I on the right track or if I'm not on the right track? That's why you get a mentor. That's why you get a coach. That's why you get someone to overlook your situation. But if you can't, you're living in 2024. So I don't know what type of BS excuse is this, right?
BS excuse.
Of course. Listen, a lot of people come to me, they go, I don't have money to pay for a coach, right? I would say that that's fine. I didn't have any money for a coach when I first began either. So what you do is you work for a coach. What you do is you go through experiences like this where someone is mentoring you and coaching you. There's a ton of people out there. You don't have to pay for one. You can get mentoring from taking a course, from reading a book. What I would be more of an accountability coach for someone, but I can still coach you. So watching a video is a form of coaching. Reading a book is a form of coaching, right? It's like I want to learn from $1 million CEO or a multi-million-dollar CEO, but I don't have the money to pay for that person. But I can still read their books. I can watch their videos. I can go to their conferences. I can learn, right? The other part would be that if you're very serious about it, that's why what I did when I was in my 20s is I worked for a mentor. So I helped build their dreams. And that was how I got coaching and mentoring when I first began. As time goes on, it's like, well, I need to, remember, in life there's two currencies. There's either time or there's money. So when you don't want to spend money, you end up spending time. So you're like, well, I can't pay for this thing. Great, you're gonna have to spend time to go and do it instead. And then when you have money, you can save time by spending money. So I'm at a place right now where I'm spending money because time is more valuable to me. When I first began, I didn't have a lot of money, so I'm spending my time instead because that's the currency I have available to me instead. So we have M as mindset, A for action, S for strategies, and T for transformation. Focus on transformative experiences that lead to growth. I think everything about your life and going down this journey of mastery is about going through these different experiences of transformation and realizing like a butterfly in a cocoon in the road of becoming the best version of you. And I see this with all of our clients is they go through this experience of building this new muscle. Like a transformation is like when someone goes to the gym and they hit the gym for the first month or two and they don't see any results, but they're in the transformation process right now. What most people do is they quit. That's why I think they say everyone has their New Year's resolution. And then I think, what is it, the fifth week of the year, everyone usually kind of goes back to their old routine, or the third week of the year. And so for me, it's about transformation is necessary in the process. And for me, when you're going through a transformation, you usually have a breakdown before you have a breakthrough. And in a transformation, you usually go through this process of almost like losing your identity and rebuilding it back up. So for example, my transformation of when I quit my job during COVID, I lost my identity of who I was. And I was going through this transformation of, I didn't know who I was at the time. I lost myself. But I was going through the transformation. It's almost like you're transforming your identity. Like you've lost your identity and you're rebuilding back this new identity. So if you were 300 pounds and you dropped to 170 pounds, there's this new identity that has formed. You've gone from this entrepreneur that's broke with no money, with lost in life, losing their friends, losing who their confidence is, then becoming this successful entrepreneur. You're rebuilding this identity. And so part of that is a transformation. And it's like allowing the transformation to happen as you're going down this road of mastery. Okay, next one. Next one is empathy, which is building strong empathetic relationships with clients. I think having empathy is a characteristic that's needed to become successful in life in general. We have to realize that, we're going down this road of mastery. If we're not empathetic human beings, we'll not actually build relationships around us. And relationships are needed, period, in life. Whether it's from a social media marketing agency where if you're not empathetic of your partners or coworkers, they're gonna not want to work with you anymore. If you're not empathetic with your classmates, they're not gonna want to spend time with you. If you're not empathetic with your partners, you're gonna lose them, like from a love level. If you're not empathetic with your clients, right? And I think it's realizing that to go through this process of mastery, it's about being ambitious, being competitive, being hardworking, but also having that level of empathy, not just with clients, but it's how you build strong relationships. And what I'm realizing with business, and so a lot of my career has been this thing of me trying to do everything myself. And I'm realizing that's kind of been the biggest bottleneck. Like, I think there's 4 of you guys or 3 of you guys. For a lot of my business careers, it's really just been me. I'm like, I'll learn this, I'll learn this, I'll learn that, I'll do this, da 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 da. And then I didn't really build a team around me, so everything was really reliant on me. So if I was sick, if I couldn't show up, if something was, it's like everything kind of goes on to a halt. And so in life in general, I'm realizing that having a level of empathy and building relationships with not just clients, but people around you is how you succeed in life and how you go down this road of mastery. R, resilience. Cultivating resilience to overcome challenges and setbacks. I think resilience is one of the biggest skill sets that are needed to achieve the goals in your life. I think when you are not able to bounce back and go through a plethora of different situations. I had a challenge with a payment processor where they held almost $20,000 on me because they were doing an investigation for about 8 weeks. It was like 6 to 8 weeks. That destroyed me because I did nothing wrong. And then we ended up coming to a conclusion that I did nothing wrong. But they still held this on me for 8 weeks. I had a hard time trusting people after. I had a thing of like a client signed up and then left. I had someone who I thought was going to be great to work within my business, and then kind of just like effed off. I had different situations where I thought everything was good, and then almost like everything got taken away last minute. And so from there, I had to build a level of resilience of like showing up no matter how traumatic a situation or an experience is, no matter how. And this is another thing that I've learned within being a coach and running a business is like realizing of like you have to be more flat. Like you can't be super high and you can't be super low. Like it's almost like you have these highs, you have these high dips. Yeah, we signed up a client or things did well. Okay, great. Oh, we lost this. And it's not having these super highs or super lows. And I've learned that from having a level of resilience, of just kind of going through life and just realize that I'm gonna get punched in the face, kicked in the stomach, but I have to keep showing up because it's a very short time frame. We kind of blow these things up and we get too emotional, and then we make things worse than what they actually are. But if we realize that they're all just part of the whole experience and you have build this muscle of resilience. I'll give one last example in door-to-door sales. I would knock on a door, someone would answer, be like, F off, worst company ever, go get a real job, you're a loser, your company sucks, everything in between. And I would have to pick myself back up and go knock on the next door. And if I brought that energy with me of like, your neighbor cussed me off, I'm sure you're not gonna be interested either, then I would lose out on that potential opportunity. And what I used to realize in my door-to-door career is I would knock on the next door and they would have a completely different energy. They'd be like, oh, no way, we're actually thinking about switching over to you guys. But it's building that level of resilience of like not taking things personal and then going to the next thing without carrying all that baggage. And then why, the final thing is yield, which is producing tangible results and improvements in both the coaches and clients' lives. So I think everything is about, and this is kind of the final piece in terms of going down the road of mastery from a coaching perspective, which is that everything I do is about creating results. So the old school traditional way of consulting coaching is like, hey, I'm gonna charge an hour of your time, and or even like take a speech therapist, for example, right? Because I was in the communication game. Their goal is to charge by the hour, and it's not that they don't care about creating results, but technically they're kind of incentivized to keep you longer as a client, because if after 4 sessions you pay them $400 and they've done their job, you don't need them anymore. And so it's funny because that system, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a speech therapist, whether it's a consultant, you're paying for an hour of their time, And ideally, you want them to pay you more money, so if you don't solve their problems, you keep coming back. Whereas, at least in my eyes as a coach, and even the way that I price my program, I don't charge hourly, I charge a package. The package is based on, we're gonna get you this results. I don't care about how many hours it takes. Because if I can solve this problem with you in 10 hours, great. If it takes me 100 hours, ideally I don't want that. And so I think as a coach, your job is to be focused on yielding results. And can you guarantee anyone a result? Of course not. But the focus, the intention, the way you take action, the way your calls are, the way you communicate, the way you make different moves is all based on achieving results for the clients and for the people around you. That's why I've even built like an incentive plan with my social media agency, where it's like I'm gonna pay them more, almost like a salaried commission individual, whereas they get a base pay, and if they hit these results, they get paid more money because everything is based on results. It's a lot of how I pay my company as well. I think the idea of the coach, the consultant, the business owner should always be about result-oriented for the business and result-oriented for the clients. And so that would be the acronym of the word mastery: mindset, action, strategies, transformation, empathy, resilience, and yield. And so if you guys enjoyed this video, comment down below, share some love, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell me the acronym for your business if you guys have a name, and we'll see you in the next video. See you later. Peace.